Coming up here on GMA, that 101-degree water temperature. Victor Oquendo down in South Florida telling us about that. Plus, you see that. Oh, that is a shelf cloud rolling over New York City and a microburst inside there with the damage. We'll bring you the pictures and the new severe storm threat today. Also, an update on the threat in the desert Southwest. We're also rising and shining in the Twin Cities, showing you some of the best of what Minneapolis and St. Paul have to offer. And we're stepping up to the plate to check out the best seventh-inning snacks at Twins games. You don't want to miss it on GMA.
It's final week for the Right Start program, where you can donate school supplies for kids. Teachers at Somerset and Judson ISDs will be getting supplies this year. United Way will be looking for volunteers to help with donations coming up August 4th next week. Still don't have the stuff to donate yourself? You can visit any Cavender auto dealership here in San Antonio or visit United Way directly at 700 South Alamo Street. You can also buy a school supply bag by texting Right Start to 41444. Ahead the next hour of GMSA, Texas Parks and Wildlife making it easier for people to explore the great outdoors at our local lakes and rivers, where you can go to make the most of your summer break. Plus, the pool is the best place to cool off, but keeping it clean is getting harder with the high temperatures, how homeowners are adjusting. And checking TransGuide. See how things are looking out there right now. I-10 at Callahan, we still have a closure. We'll be right back. Right now at GMSA, San Antonio firefighters investigating another deadly blaze, this time on the city's southwest side. How smoke detectors are involved again, just ahead.
And it's not something you see or hear about every day, but why a local congressman went on a so-called thirst strike to put pressure on the Biden administration.
Outside with Live Cam, another very warm day yesterday. We've only dropped down to just about 80 degrees, 79 or so out of San Antonio International Airport.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Rise and shine at 6 a.m. on your Wednesday morning. It is July 26th.
Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. We hope you had a good week, and we hope you're finding ways to stay cool. I know yesterday afternoon, ideally we'd like to go to a park, but a little hot right now, so we went roller skating indoors.
Great plan. Very creative.
I like that.
It was busy.
And actually in the shade yesterday, it wasn't bad. You know, with the humidity dropping in the afternoon, it comes back up in the morning. So
Weren't you a roller skating legend in Michigan? I've heard rumors.
Ah.
we used to do that in high school.
I see.
cool.
I told
I
you.
don't know about a legend.
I want to see pictures.
No.
Yeah. Aw.
We didn't have cell phones, but nobody had walked around with cameras back then. Anyway, we've got a lot of clear skies right now. And, oh, yeah, what was the name of that? Anyway, 84 is what it feels like out there, 85 Canyon Lake. So, yes, we do have our morning humidity around here, and then that will be dropping down somewhat by later on this afternoon. Mold is on the moderate side. Of course, it came down a whole bunch yesterday from the previous day's reading when it was so high after the rain on Sunday. 91 at noon, and, yeah, it's going to be another hot one today, 101. Of course, the humidity will drop down somewhat. Like I said, it is going to be a little more comfortable when you get in the shade later on today. As far as any rain chances, there could be a stray shower along the coastal plain, a sea breeze shower, but wouldn't count on anything. Will we see any sort of changes as we finish up the month of July and then go into August? Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Stephen, what's going on?
It's been a calm morning over here, Mike, and I think a lot of drivers will be happy to hear that and see what's happening here on TransGuide. 35 north at Loop 410. Sure, it's getting a little bit busier, but I'm not seeing anything that's going to cause any significant slowdowns this early in the morning. We did have some road closures in the first hour of GMSA. Those have since cleared up, but expect to see a little bit more of that ramp up as the morning commute does get moving. But right now, I would say if you have to head out the door, it'd be the perfect time to do it. Go grab that cup of iced coffee like Steph usually suggests. But I-10 westbound, be on the lookout. We still have this closure in place. This is due to a water main break that was reported in the area late Sunday night. So we got some information from SAWS, and it turns out that there was no sinkhole that was reported. But what we are seeing out there are repairs still being made to a 16-inch pipe. So could take a little while, but we're keeping our fingers crossed that we will see that lanes or that exit reopen later today. today. Wide look at the map doesn't show a whole lot else taking place other than the usual road closures that you can expect in the Alamo City. But if your destination is to the Alamo City, should still be pretty pleasant from Pleasanton along 37 northbound with 30 minutes at this hour. US 90, 30 minutes, guys. If you have to head out the door, be the perfect time to do it if you're heading in from Castroville. And the arrival from Lytle should be within about 17 minutes along I-35 northbound. But I'll continue to keep a close eye on the roads. There's a shot at 90 at State Highway 211. Nothing going on there, but we'll continue to watch roads closely, and I'll have another update coming up a little later on. Mark.
Stephen, thank you. New this morning, a woman is dead after a house fire on San Antonio's southwest side overnight. Happened just before 2 a.m. in the 200 block of Ross Avenue, not far from South Zarzamora. Firefighters found heavy smoke and a fire along the roof of the home. They say a woman in her 80s was found dead inside after the house collapsed as she was trying to get out. Fire crews say there were no smoke detectors installed in that home. New details this morning on a state lawmaker's so-called thirst strike. U.S. Congressman Greg Casar says he stopped drinking fluids to demand federal protections for people working out in the heat.
Casar represents District 35, which stretches from downtown San Antonio to the east side of Austin. As John Paul Barajas explains, Casar is concerned about a newly signed bill and the impact it could have on workers across the country.
Summer in South Texas means working in triple-digit heat for some.
I feel like this year is definitely hotter. I always try to encourage my crew to stay hydrated. I always bring water myself, but I feel like it's not enough.
But now there's concerns that new state legislation will limit workers' rights to water breaks. House Bill 2127 prevents cities from making or enforcing local laws across broad areas, including finance, insurance, labor, or employee benefits. That includes Austin and Dallas city ordinances on mandatory water breaks. Any hopes of similar rules in San Antonio will be limited when the law goes into effect September 1st.
It destroys local protections for workers. We've had workers die just in the last few weeks across the state of Texas because of heat exhaustion. The government should be standing on the side of workers, supporting them.
In protest of HB 2127, Congressman Greg Casar went on a thirst strike for nearly 9 hours on the steps of the U.S. Capitol, calling on the Biden administration and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration to implement a federal heat standard.
We could pass this just if 5 Republicans signed on, because I think there's overwhelming majority support from the Democrats, and we need to accelerate the federal rulemaking process so that if 4 or 5 Republicans aren't willing to sign on, that we get the Biden administration to just do it themselves.
Now, we should mention House Bill 2127 doesn't specifically mention water breaks, but Casar did address his concerns with the U.S. Department of Labor on Monday. And also on Monday, the city of San Antonio joined Houston suing the state over the legislation. The city attorney saying the law would strip home rule cities like San Antonio, who operate under a charter, of their authority to create ordinances. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Several bookstores and booksellers are taking Texas state officials to court over new legislation. Their lawsuit takes aim at House Bill 900, signed by Governor Greg Abbott earlier this year. It requires booksellers to rate books based on their description or depiction of sex. Now, school libraries would be required to remove anything deemed sexually explicit. According to the Texas Tribune, the lawsuit argues that legislation violates the First and 14th Amendments by targeting protected speech and forcing private businesses to comply with the state, even if they do not agree with its views. It also raises concerns about vendors' ability to rate all of the books that have already been sold or could be sold to Texas public schools. Supporters say it will protect students from inappropriate material.
In your morning headlines, President Joe Biden's son Hunter is facing new challenges ahead of a scheduled court appearance today. He's expected to plead guilty in a deal with prosecutors on tax and gun charges. However, the New York Times is reporting there's an effort underway to get Hunter Biden's deal thrown out. The Times says GOP lawmakers and conservative groups filed briefs in hopes of convincing a Delaware judge to reject the plea agreement, arguing that it's tainted after 2 IRS whistleblowers testified before Congress about the investigation.
A judge has vacated the military conviction of Bo Bergdahl, the U.S. former Army soldier who pled guilty to desertion after he left his post and was captured in Afghanistan. The ruling from a federal judge in Washington says the military judge who oversaw Bergdahl's court-martial created a potential conflict of interest by failing to disclose he had applied to the executive branch for a job as an immigration judge. Bergdahl was charged with desertion after he left his post in Afghanistan back in 2009. He was retrieved in a prisoner exchange for 5 Taliban leaders.
Before we go to break, no one became a super mega millionaire after last night's lottery drawing. The Mega Millions lottery says no one matched the winning numbers for its jackpot. That means it'll grow to an estimated $910 million with a cash value option of just over $464 million. If won, this would be the 5th largest jackpot in Mega Millions history. And the next drawing is on Friday night. Good luck.
Good luck. Time now 6:08 and 79 degrees for now.
Still to come before 6:30, training camp off and running for the Cowboys on the West Coast as of today. Larry Ramirez brings us the state of the team from owner Jerry Jones and head coach Mike McCarthy. Plus,
so I've always seen that in her, even when she didn't have nothing. And, you know, money's only good for the good it can do.
A San Antonio business leader giving away hundreds of free backpacks full of school supplies tomorrow night, where you can find them, and how his late mother inspired his mission to give back.
outside with live cam, waiting for the sun to come up. It's hidden behind a few clouds out there early this morning, but how hot will it get today? And we can always look ahead to the weekend now that we're in midweek. We'll check in with Mike coming up and a look at your morning commute with Steve.
Believe it or not, back to school is around the corner.
And students who might be using older recycled school supplies can get a fresh start this year, and thanks to a group of community leaders.
That's right. The Miloff International Group partnering with Big Brothers and Big Sisters and Urban Air to give away 750 free backpacks full of school supplies. So the giveaway starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow night at the Urban Air on 1604 and Bandera Road. And it's on a first come, first served basis. So kids will also get a free ticket to jump and play at the Urban Air Park until 9 o'clock.
The goal is to help underserved kids and families who are struggling to afford new backpacks and school supplies. San Antonio business leader Scott Maloof is originally from Schertz and tells us it started with 250 backpacks 3 years ago, growing to 750 for tomorrow night.
And for us to be able to give back to the community and be able to, hey, maybe you are using the same backpack for the last 3 years. Here's an opportunity for you to have a free backpack with school supplies for your kids, and then also enjoy yourself at the trampoline park.
Maloof also says his late mother and humble upbringing inspired his mission to give back to kids across the Alamo City.
And she didn't have the most money to give, yet when she passed away, I always looked at it as being able to give is one of the biggest things that you can do. And sometimes it's giving time, and sometimes it's giving, money or certain things like we're doing with the backpack to the community.
So again, the free backpack giveaway starts at 6 p.m. tomorrow night at the Urban Air on 1604 and Bandera Road. It's on a first come, first served basis, and this will go until 9 o'clock.
Well, here's good news. There's no wait for a traffic update. Stephen Cavazos is here at 6:14.
Well, thankfully, it has been a good morning over here, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed it stays that way. But I really thought this was an interesting shot our friends at Transguide are treating us with here at US 90 at State 211. Again, not spotting any issues out there, but it looks like we have a little bit of a glow in the sky. So can't complain about that as folks are making their way into the Alamo City in those eastbound lanes. But as I mentioned, be on the lookout. If you get here into town and you see this closure in place, don't be too alarmed about it, because this is a water main break that happened late Sunday night, and crews have been working to repair that 16-inch pipe. So we're hoping to see that reopen, but it's not really caused any delays with traffic. But if you do have to exit there at 561, maybe best to exit at Callahan Road a little bit earlier. But giving you a wide look at the map, it's the same story here, guys. A lot of that construction that you can expect to see take place in our area and stuff that's going to be happening later today. That road work I mentioned should be wrapping up here along State Highway 151 later this afternoon around 3. But keep this in mind, crews will probably get out there sometime before 9. We'll see single closures on the eastbound frontage road from Petrinka Road to Ingram Road. There is a whole lot happening in our area. Just head over to our traffic page by scanning this QR code. It takes you directly there. There's a full list of all the closures that are happening right now. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but into the early days of August. Yeah, yes. We're almost there. But yeah, we got to get through the month of July. Then when August gets here, we'll have a whole lot more to talk about.
Yes, we will.
Doesn't school start for some districts in what? About 3 weeks? 3 weeks or so?
Yeah, August 15th for us.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
That school bus is going to get rolling.
Wow. Yeah, it has to.
Time to dust off the school bus, Mike.
Yeah.
So that's what, then like 3 weeks from Monday, right? Something like that? Or
yeah, less.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, get ready, Rudy.
Yeah. All right.
She's a sweet
Yesterday had a gorgeous, gorgeous sunset, and yeah, a little bit maybe of the kind of reddish glow in that picture from some of the Saharan dust, and that is kind of in place and going to be sticking around for the next couple of days, flowing in across the Atlantic Ocean through the Gulf of Mexico, and so that obviously is enhancing some of the sunrises as well as sunsets, more of a kind of reddish orangish look to them, and that'll be the situation then going in through Saturday, and then finally during the day it looks like that's finally going to be moving on out of here. Right now, we're not seeing much of a sunrise, not dust, but it's just a few clouds out there, one or two little holes up there, and that's about the extent of it. We are at 80 right now, mid-70s in portions of the hill country, 80 at Stinson, and the humidity, which 73 here in town, noticeable. You step outside, it's like, you got some humidity out there, but then 75s, New Braunfels, 76 Randolph, Stinson, that's getting up there. That's fog up your glasses kind of humidity off to the east, and heat index readings low to mid 80s around the area. And we will have some of the clouds hanging around this morning, then move up through the 80s this morning into 91 degrees at noon. Plenty of sunshine, couple of clouds here and there. 101 high temperature today. I don't even have a mention of a shower on the graphic, maybe one or two of them down to the southeast later on this afternoon. Just a stray sea breeze shower or two. Going into the weekend, and I know the past couple of days we've been talking about that chance for something to pop up this weekend. Computer models really aren't too anxious to get anything scared up around here. There may be one or two of them down there along the coastal plain, but not really anything to get excited about at all. So here's what's going on. The high pressure area is almost right on top of us. Yeah, there is a little bit of a flow coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, but this thing is going to kind of stay in place for the next few days. And then as we go on in toward the latter part of the weekend, well, first of all, there is that little wave that's going to try and move on in here, which though does not look like it's going to do much of anything, and that'll just kind of move off into northern Mexico. And then as that high kind of goes into Sunday and Monday, it will start to kind of scooch in a little bit closer. So add on another degree or so to high temperatures going into the first part of next week. 101 today, triple digits the next few days. Some of that Saharan dust around here. A shower down to the southeast today, maybe. A shower maybe Saturday. And then 102s to finish up July and head into August.
Well, 10% Saturday.
And that's not much at all. I mean,
Mike's like, that was an accident.
That's being, well, almost, that's being very, very generous.
All
so.
right, but it's our turn, so maybe.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Thanks.
Time now is 6:19, 79 degrees.
We'll be right back.
We're traveling all across America talking to people about their hearts. Take this exit. How's the heart?
I feel like it's good.
You feel like it's good? How do you know when it's time to check in on your heart? How do you know? Let me show you something. It looks like a credit card, but it is the Kardia Mobile Card. That is a medical grade EKG. Want to see how it works?
Yeah.
Put both thumbs on there. That is your heart coming from the Kardia Mobile Card.
Wow. With Kardia Mobile Card, you can take a medical grade EKG in just 30 seconds from anywhere. Kardia Mobile Card is proven to detect atrial fibrillation, one of the leading causes of stroke. And it's the only personal EKG that's FDA cleared to detect normal heart rhythm, bradycardia, and tachycardia.
How much do you think that costs?
Probably $500.
$99.
Oh, really?
You carry
that in your wallet.
Of course you can carry your wallet, right?
Yes.
Checking your heart anytime, anywhere has never been easier. Don't wait. Get Kardia Mobile Card for just $99 at Kardia.com or Amazon.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the officer accused of placing a handcuffed female suspect in the back of a patrol car on train tracks moments before a freight train plowed into it is standing trial. The woman inside the vehicle, 21-year-old Yorani Rios Gonzalez, surviving the collision. Disturbing police body and dash cameras capturing the horrific chain of events following Rios Gonzalez's arrest at gunpoint for an alleged road rage incident back in September. Officer Jordan Steinke taking the stand Tuesday, arguing that she did not see any reflective signs or gates indicating a railroad crossing at the time of the incident.
It was incredibly dark. I was miles outside of my jurisdiction.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more on the trial and the charges she's facing. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Grounds crews finishing up their work on the field in Oxnard, California, getting ready for the first Cowboys practice today.
Our Larry Ramirez was there and talks about the state of the Cowboys according to owner Jerry Jones and head coach Mike McCarthy.
The Dallas Cowboys held their State of the Team address here in Oxnard, California, and during the 45-minute Q&A, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said it was just time to move on from offensive coordinator Kellen Moore and let head coach Mike McCarthy call the plays this coming season.
We're just at a point as we have evolved, and I think we have evolved over the last 2 or 3 years, that it was not so much about what Kellen wasn't, it was about what Mike is. And so I think that we gain on it. I think we give ourselves a better chance.
The boys need all the help they can get to make a deep playoff run, that's for sure. And coming off back-to-back 12-5 records in the regular season, Coach McCarthy feels good about the way his offense is trending.
If you look at our time here, 2020, we went about it a certain way offensively, but we had a philosophy shift after 2020. We needed to run the ball more. So 21 and 22 to me is the vision of how I see the offense playing. So it's important for us to build off of what we accomplished the last 2 years. But our personnel is a little different too. So you got to factor that in.
But with the personnel the boys have on offense and with the defense that just keeps getting better, Jerry Jones feels great about this team heading into its 4th season with McCarthy as head coach.
I think that when you weigh it, you weigh where we've evolved over the last 2 or 3 years with our defense. You look at some of the talent we've got, look at Dak. When I look at all those things, I think we've got a chance to be a contender.
I have the feeling that a lot of Cowboys fans will not believe that until they see it. For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm Larry Ramirez. Back to you.
Thank you, Larry. Over in Houston, the Texans have their first practice today. The first one open to fans will be this Friday before the team practices with the Miami Dolphins in about 3 weeks. On August 24th and 25th, the Texans will be in New Orleans to practice against the Saints.
And the time now, 6:25 and 79 degrees for now.
Still to come at 6:30, the pool is the best place to cool off. Keeping it clean is getting harder with those higher temperatures. How homeowners are adjusting this summer.
And as summer winds down a little bit, Texas Parks and Wildlife wants you to make the most of it, where you can go explore at nearby lakes and rivers.
Checking TransGuide, flashing lights 35 at Martin. We'll get the scoop with Stephen Cavazos coming up.
A home with no smoke detectors proves to be deadly for a woman overnight. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. Firefighters say they found her here after putting out a fire. I'll tell you why they believe she may have found out about that fire, although too late. Coming up.
Also this morning on GMSA, an overnight shooting on the north side. Why police tell us that it started with a group saying no to drugs.
Outside with live cam, some morning clouds. That's kind of nice. Wish they could stick around for the afternoon hours, but it's unlikely. Have our rain chances evaporated entirely? Mike Ostrier just standing by with your local forecast.
Well, good morning. It is 6 Thursday and happy Wednesday. It's July 26th.
Thanks for starting your morning with us. Let's get right to Mike and Stephen for an update on the situation out there on this early Wednesday.
I like the way you put that. Have rain chances evaporated? Pretty much so. I mean, there may be a drop as far as the analogy for rain chances. More on that in a second. Yeah, plenty of clouds. If they would stick around, that would be fantastic. But we could kind of put off the heating process in the next couple of hours. That would help out, by later on this afternoon. But yeah, let's just keep wishing for that. Temperature at 80, and with the cloud moving on in here, and that's clouds moved in, and that's kind of put a lid on things, and the dew point's actually gone up, so the humidity has gone up somewhat this morning. 85 is what it feels like out there right now. Same thing, Stinson, Canyon Lake, 84 over there at Castroville. Mold is on the moderate side. Updated count's going to come out in about an hour or so. Of course, this dropped way down from the 19,000 plus that it was on Monday. Warm, humid this morning, and then, yeah, we are going to have more sunshine later on today. 101, and there's a small chance for a shower well down to the southeast along the coastal plain. That's pretty much about it, and that's kind of his wishful thinking as well. Rest of July, low hundreds, sunshine. If there's a stray shower on Saturday, great, but I wouldn't count on anything. That would be primarily down to the southeast. But July going into August, still triple digits around here. Not a whole heck of a lot's going to be changing. We'll take a closer look at the weekend forecast in just a few minutes. Traffic Authority, been pretty quiet in your neck of the woods over there.
Yeah, I've been coasting over here, Mike, but I have to say that we still have to keep a close eye on things because it does look like we have flashing lights out there, 35 northbound. Right there at Martin Street. Turns out this is a stalled vehicle, and that's a TxDOT Hero truck working to help that driver out. It's off on the shoulder lane, so it's not causing so much of an issue with traffic. But you see from that TransGuide camera, we have a lot more folks that have already taken the trip out there for their morning drive time. So be on the lookout. If you see those flashing lights, move over or slow down. Let's make sure they can get their job done safely. Where that stall has been reported is, again, in the northbound lanes of I-35 at Martin Street. A little bit of yellow behind that icon, and as you just saw from the TransGuide camera, a lot more folks have already woken up and already hit the roadways, so just be on the lookout. Drive over here does show the closure still in place. Just be on the lookout at I-10 westbound 561. That's Medical Drive, Wurzbach Road area. Now, this stems from a water main break that occurred late Sunday night, and crews are still out there working to make those repairs. We're keeping our fingers crossed that we will see that reopen later today, but as of right now, it's not causing an issue for drivers. Overall look at our map doesn't show anything else taking place, just a lot of the construction, none of which is slowing folks down. We are pretty much green across the board if you're making your way into the Alamo City from any of these communities, so that is good news to report, but we bring it back here to TransGuide, and hopefully we'll see these flashing lights disappear from our screen in the next few minutes, but I'll come back with another update and more closures on the way coming up in the next few minutes. Mark.
Thank you, Stephen. Another house fire in San Antonio has brought about another death, and firefighters say there's one big similarity between this one and the deadly fire this last weekend.
There were no smoke detectors in either home. Katrina Weber is live in the 200 block of Ross Avenue near South Zarzamora and West Malone.
Katrina mentioned even though she wasn't alerted, it appears the woman who died did know about the fire.
Yeah, that's based on what firefighters told us. They believe she was trying to escape. They say they found the woman on the floor of her bedroom here, and it looks like she was trying to get out at the time. Now, I have some video to show you. This fire did break out sometime before 2 o'clock this morning. Neighbors definitely knew about it. One man was telling me his dogs alerted him. He looked out and saw the fire and called 911. Firefighters say when they got here, they found flames already through the roof. They went inside eventually and did find the woman again in her bedroom, collapsed on the floor, but she had died as a result, they believe, from this fire. No word yet on how the fire started. We still have one investigator here, and they were not able to tell me anything yet in terms of what they found when they looked around. Now, again, neighbors say that they did notice this fire. They were able to call 911. And one thing I want to mention is that we did have another fire this past Saturday where 3 people died in a home on the north side. Again, firefighters say no smoke detectors there, and that prompted the chief to talk earlier this week about the need for them and to even tell people how they can get them from the fire department. Just talking to neighbors here, I talked to one man who says he doesn't have any smoke detectors in his home, but that is priority one to get them now as a result of what just happened across the street and what happened this past weekend. Reporting live on the southwest side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. San Antonio police are investigating a shooting outside an apartment on the north side. This happened just before 1 a.m. on Sahara Drive near San Pedro Avenue. Now, police say a group of men were hanging out in a parking lot when they were approached by another group who offered to sell them drugs. The group being offered refused, and that's when police say someone started shooting a gun. A couple of men were grazed by bullets, but there were no injuries. Police are still investigating.
Civil police are looking for 2 people in connection to a robbery that turned deadly. The suspects are a man and a woman. The incident happened June 15th when 61-year-old James Doty got money from a bank in Schertz. When he got in his car to drive away, police say the woman on your screen followed him in her vehicle. When Doty stopped, officers tell us the man on your screen hit him from behind and took his money. Doty later fell into a coma at a hospital and died July 13th. If you know anything that can help find these suspects, call the Guadalupe County Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen.
A traffic stop led to a drug bust and a human smuggling bust at a suspected stash house. It happened yesterday near Mozali Avenue and West Pyron Avenue at this home across from Harlandale High School. Bexar County Deputy Johnny Garcia says deputies stopped a vehicle which led them to that home, and that's where they found 4 men and 1 woman from Mexico inside. He says the victims were thirsty, but they had no serious injuries.
Unknown how long these people were operating here at this location, but definitely it is urged on the community. If you see something suspicious, if you see several vehicles arriving at all hours of the night, give us a call.
Deputies arrested 2 men who will likely face charges of human smuggling.
Happening today, KSAT is airing a special on fentanyl at 6:30 this evening. It's called Fighting Fentanyl. It's everyone's problem. You'll see how the drug comes in through our border, what Customs and Border Protection does to stop it, and how the DEA is going after the people who sell it. The goal is to help you start a conversation with your kids about fentanyl so you can keep them safe. Again, the special tonight at 6:30 right here on KSAT 12. After it airs, you can watch it on our website, our YouTube channel, and KSAT Plus.
Also happening today, are you looking for a good deal on Air Jordans, high-end jewelry, or tools? Well, the city of San Antonio is hosting an asset seizure public auction. So about 100 items will be up for grabs, and last night 10 vehicles were auctioned off to the highest bidder. The items are part of evidence seized in drug or DWI stops and legally retained in court by San Antonio police.
It kind of saves us taxpayers a little bit of money because they don't have to take that money out of the general fund to pay for, originally our original Glocks were paid with it. The building we sit in at Academic Court was paid with seizure money. So saves us all a little bit of tax money.
The public auction is later today at the 6:30 at the VFW Post 9186 on 650 VFW Boulevard. That is on the city's far south side. So payment is cash or credit card only. We're going to have more information on our website at ksat.com.
Time check 6:38, still about 79 degrees.
Texas Parks and Wildlife Department is making plans to make it easier for people to fish and do river activities this summer. How they're doing so next.
Welcome back. Just about 6:42 on your Wednesday morning. Texas Parks and Wildlife is making it easier for you to fish and do river activities this summer.
That's right. They have opened 2 new leased rivers access sites through their River Access and Conservation Program. Now, the new sites are located on the Brazos River in Milam County and the San Marcos River at the Skull Road Bridge. This will help people who travel to San Marcos enjoy the water for the rest of the summer. Both sites are open year-round, and they open 30 minutes before sunrise and close 30 minutes after sunset. Some of the activities you can do include fishing, kayaking, paddling on the river, and floating. So it is important to remember to always help keep these river areas clean when you are visiting. You can read more about the program and Texas Parks and Wildlife by heading to our website at ksat.com.
They do such a fantastic job.
Yeah, they do. And this summer, everyone probably wishes they had a pool to cool off in.
That's true. Rising temperatures also raising the cost of maintaining a clean pool. Russ Donaldson from Keith Czar's Pool says most pools are requiring more chemicals, even more water this summer. The heat is evaporating the chlorine at a faster rate. Pools are also getting a lot more use, he says, so that means water quality has to be checked more often. And he's noticed a new trend.
You have a lot of people actually looking for chillers, coolers that they can attach that basically chills their water down.
Our pools are tested every hour on the hour from when the staff get there or whenever our programs happen. Anytime anybody's in the water, we're always taking our hourly pool reading.
Yeah, so as she says right there, San Antonio Parks and Rec has an hourly process to ensure that the water quality stays up to their safety standards. Each of their 23 pools have quality tests, and they're closed once a week for a full cleaning.
And time now, 6:43. Let's go ahead and check back with our Stephen Cavazos to see how the roads are looking.
It's been a good morning over here, Steph. As we take a look around town, we have our cameras on rotation to show you what you can expect for that drive time. Check out 35 at Walsham. Earlier, there was some road work that was slowing some folks down there, but looks like that's wrapped up, that is. 410 at Northwest Military. We have a lot more people that have woken up and already are making their morning drive. So just be on the lookout. We have a few closures in place. I talked about this stall here at 35 northbound at Martin Street. Street. I didn't see any delays earlier, and it does look like that may have cleared out. But what I'm starting to see now more of on our map is that congestion. So that could just be morning rush has started a little bit earlier. So be on the lookout there. Want to take a drive over here just to remind you of the closure. I know we've been talking about this for the last 3 days, and you're probably tired of hearing it, but just know what to expect. We still have the closure there at exit 561. That's Medical Drive / Wurzbach Road. We will watch it closely, and hopefully we'll see that reopen later today. Giving you a wide look now at our map, it is the construction that we can look forward to for the latter half of the week. State Highway 151. So we mentioned that there's work wrapping up later today, but work was expected to also continue all the way up until Thursday. This other road work will start around 9 this morning and wrap at 3 in the afternoon. Single lane closures on the eastbound frontage road. This time what we're going to see that take place is from Ingram Road to Cable Ranch Road. But head over to ksat.com/traffic. There's a lot more happening in the Alamo City, so just know what to expect before you have to hit the roads. But thankfully, if you have to hit the roads right now, you shouldn't have too much trouble. Just be on the lookout. Looks like we have a busier commute than what we've seen over the last few days.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, just the middle portion of the caption of this picture.
Okay.
Each one of you read it in a different way. Okay, Steph, go.
The middle portion?
Yeah, just the middle portion.
That is quite the sploot.
Mark?
That is quite the sploot.
That was the same she said.
What did you want me to say?
That is quite the sploot.
There you go, Stephen.
You wanted just different variation of the same line, right?
Well, but different emphasis on different words. So
that's quite the sploot.
That's quite the sploot.
Did you put
So,
you
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
a different emphasis on the different syllable?
Syllable, right.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, that guy, that's quite the sploot. So
there, that's what you wanted.
That is quite the sploot.
And scene. Anyway, lots of clouds hanging around here this morning, and that's hopefully going to delay the start of the heating process and could help us out later on this afternoon if those clouds stick around long enough. They'll be around for at least an hour or two. 80 here in town is the actual air temperature, Castroville, and as well as Canyon Lake, Port SA. Humidity has actually gone up a little bit in the past couple of hours, so we're in the mid and upper 70s. This is kind of fog up your glasses sort of humidity when you get those dew points getting up there around 74, 75 degrees. So it feels like 85, though, out at the airport, Stinson, as well as in Canyon Lake right now. Humidity will be dropping down somewhat later on this afternoon. A lot more here along the coastal plain and somewhat drier air in portions of the hill country. We'll be sort of right on the that threshold. So what this means is from San Antonio out to the hill country, you're in the shade. It is going to be somewhat more tolerable, but with those dew points still staying in the 70s down there along the coastal plain, that's still going to stay pretty muggy all day long, and we'll go through the same process again then tomorrow as well as the next couple of days. So clouds hanging around here this morning. Then we get up to the low 90s today at noon and add 10 to that. So 101 high temperature today. Don't even have a mention of a shower today. There could be one trying to pop up down here along the coast, and that would be about the extent of it. Around the country, got a pretty good system moving through the northern Mississippi Valley and the Great Lakes, which may actually produce some strong storms there. But otherwise, see how this got this kind of clockwise rotation right here. That's the high, which is almost right on top of us, centered over New Mexico right now, and that thing's going to be staying in place. Now, what we have been looking at is this easterly wave, if you will, trying to move on in here from the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of times that could give us a chance for some rain, but it just doesn't look like anything is going to materialize from that. It may try and hold temperatures down a degree or so, but we're just going to be staying in the same situation, even going into the weekend. Maybe a stray shower or two down along the coast this weekend. That'll be about it. And then that high just remains in place as we finish up the month of July and go into August, which means nothing's going to be changing really over the next 7 days. We've got some of that Saharan dust hanging around here, and temperatures are going to be staying triple digits all the way through the weekend, actually going up a notch or two then by Sunday going into first part of next week.
So hot days for the national holidays of
Yes.
Mike and Mark's birthday.
Indeed. So
absolutely. Here,
yes.
here. 648, 79 degrees.
And that is quite the sploot. So.
Yes, it is.
It is quite the sploot.
New research is revealing unsettling news about pregnant women and exposure to harmful chemicals. Tomorrow on GMSA, we're going to tell you about those chemicals and where they're most likely found.
Outside with a live cam on your Wednesday morning. Glad you're with us. Clouds, I wish you could stay.
Aw.
We just met, and I don't want you to leave like this. We'll be
Don't
right
leave
back.
us.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, that 101-degree water temperature. Victor Oquendo down in South Florida telling us about that. Plus, you see that. Oh, that is a shelf cloud rolling over New York City and a microburst inside there with the damage. We'll bring you the pictures and the new severe storm threat today. Also, an update on the threat in the desert Southwest. We're also rising and shining in the Twin Cities, showing you some of the best of what Minneapolis and St. Paul have to offer. And we're stepping up to the plate to check out the best seventh-inning snacks at Twins games. You don't want to miss it on GMA.
Okay, so the kids might not want to hear this, but it's almost time to get ready for the new school year. If you haven't started buying school supplies yet, we'll have some strategies to share with you to get your most out of your money.
That's right. Today on GMSA at 9, we're going to speak with a shopping expert to find out some of her favorite deal hunting tips and what to expect from this year's back-to-school shopping season.
Plus, it's a summer of science experiments and discoveries for some local teachers. We'll have those stories and more coming up today on GMSA at 9. Final week for the Right Start program. We can donate school supplies for kids. The teachers of Somerset and Judson ISDs will be getting supplies this year. United Way is looking for volunteers to help with all those donations August 4th. If you still have stuff to donate yourself, you can visit any Cavender Auto dealership in our area or visit United Way directly at 700 South Alamo Street. You can also buy a school supply bag by just texting Right Start, just as you see right there in the banner, to 41444.
And seniors over the age of 60 or people with a disability can request a box van at no cost by calling the United Way at 211. The box van program relies on donations, so if you want to help, you can donate to the purchase of a 20-inch boxed van. We have the drop-off locations on our website at ksat.com.
Well, August is going to be here in just a matter of days. That means it is time for football.
And this year's KSAT Pigskin Classic will be even bigger than last year.
Yeah, if you haven't heard yet, 2 days of high school football action instead of just one. You can see the teams taking part in the KSAT Pigskin Classic behind us. But here are those matchups. All starts Friday night, August 25th, with Antonian taking on Holy Cross at 7 o'clock. Then our triple header Saturday, August 26th.
And that's going to start with Southside versus Somerset at 11:30 a.m. Then Jefferson versus Uvalde at 3:30 p.m. And then O'Connor versus Brandeis at 7:30 p.m. to wrap up the day.
Of course, all 4 games will be taking place at the Alamo Dome.
You can get your tickets right now on KSAT.com, or if you're already a KSAT insider, you can purchase your VIP experience for the best seat in the house.
About 5 minutes till 7.
Okay, Stephen, how are things looking now?
Well, they look pretty much the same, just a little bit busier with still some closures in place. So we'll have more on that a little bit later on, but overall commute's not too bad. 90 at Montgomery. Folks are making their way into the Alamo City this early in the morning, but be on the lookout here at 35 northbound at Martin Street. Although this stall cleared out, we're still seeing a little bit of a slowdown. Other than that, we have a lot more construction to look forward to today. We'll keep a close eye on it, and hopefully, Mike, will see that closure along I-10 reopen sometime later.
Yes, that would help things out. All right, got some clouds hanging around here right now. It'd be nice if those stuck around all morning to delay the warming process, the start of the warming process. 85 is what it feels like here in town right now based on a temperature of 80, 85 down around Stinson. We are going to make it up to 101 today. More sunshine and triple digits through the week and the weekend and next week, and Sahara dust through Saturday. Maybe a shower down along the coastal plain today, Saturday, but rain is just not in this forecast at all. You know, back to the Pigskin Classic.
Yeah.
It's got our shirts.
Yeah, they look nice.
Yes. There's red shirts on almost every desk in our newsroom right now.
What a treat this morning to walk in for that little present. Have a good day, guys.